time for the Youth Minute, and I wanted to paste this real quick, and then I'll get started. So I've been thinking a lot about Psalm 91 recently, and verse 3 says, "Surely God will save you from the fowler's snare and the deadly pestilence." I think it's timely and comforting. But I've also been thinking a lot about a dear friend of Blue Ocean and her story that happened 10 years ago about Psalm 91. So with her permission, I'd like to share it with you today. In 2016, our staff went to the Gay Christian Network conference where we became friends with Jane Clementi. She's the founder of the Tyler Clementi Foundation. Their mission is to end online and offline bullying, particularly for LGBTQ youth, in schools, workplaces, and I'd like to emphasize in faith communities. Now, if you don't know Tyler's story, I pasted a link in the chat. He was a kind-hearted and talented young person who was maliciously bullied online and ended his life. He was only 18. So in the deep fog of the moments after this heartbreaking tragedy, Tyler's mother, Jane, described herself in an email to me as an infant. She wrote, "I think the first verse that showed me I was not alone and that God was with me and he would be with me from those very early moments till forever was sort of an unusual one. It was Psalm 91, verses 1 and 4. Jane received a card along with 2 mugs that said, 'Have faith.' But she didn't notice them and said, 'If I looked, I did not see.' There were many people in the house and lots of things happening. But the next morning, with the house quiet, she was alone. And she felt drawn to something on her rug by the fireplace. She bent down to see 2 small, soft, downy feathers, like from the underside of a bird. Anyone could have brought them in on their shoes, she said, but she'd never seen any like them before or since. She has a distinct memory of picking them up and bringing them to the kitchen to throw away. Then she went over to the mantle and she saw the words, 'Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. He will cover you with his feathers. He will shelter you with his wings.' She wrote, 'It was at that moment I knew that those feathers were not just a coincidence, but rather something to get my attention. He was shouting out to me, banging me on the head, because that's what I needed, physical confirmation and clear signs and wonders.' I believe God speaks through Jane's story. A year before I met Jane Clementi, Ken asked my friend who was visiting Blue Ocean what she did for work. 'Suicide prevention,' she said. And Ken replied, 'Oh, that's what we do here.' And this was a profound realization for me about our purpose, especially for our young people. So all I can say is glory be to God. I'm so grateful for Blue Ocean Faith Church and friends like Jane.